Alright, this is Cynthia again with Wild Ocean, and right now we're going to show you how to fillet a flounder. And there's two ways to fillet that we know of at least. So we'll show you both ways. And this is Chris again, one of our fishmongers slash fish cutter.
Hey. So basically you start pretty much any fish the same way. I always grab the fin and I go ahead and I make an incision right behind the fin and down towards the gut. And then I take the knife and go the other direction. Flounders actually have this unique bone right here that kind of almost squares off. And there's a little skinny piece of meat up here. I want to make sure you try and get that best as possible. It's not the easiest thing to get, but it's worth it. Alright, after you do that, you want to make sure you have a very flexible knife because it's such a flat fish. You're going to have to do a lot of flexing with the knife. You're just going to try and get as close as possible. Follow this fin line basically as close as you can all the way down. The hardest part is actually just getting it started through the scales. My knife, like usual, is not sharp enough. If you have to, that's an easy way to do it. You stick the knife in and then just come out from the back side. Don't stick it in too far though, because you will lose a bunch of meat. Once you get it started, it should go pretty easily, whether you have a sharp knife or not. And just slowly work your way back. You'll have to raise a little bit when you get back to the tail. And then once you got that first initial cut, you're going to want to come back. And on the flounder, they kind of have this little ledge here you got to find. Their thicker bones come out and meet the skinnier bones. You can see kind of right there, it's just a little ledge. You got to make sure you stay up on top of that ledge. Flounder are very easy to cut straight through into the bottom half of the fish if you don't stay up on that ledge. And then because it's a smaller fish, I go to the backbone and then I angle my knife downward to go down the other side of the backbone. And once you get that first cut on the other side of the backbone, you can pretty much stick the knife all the way through into the belly and then just run it right along the bone. And you completely remove the meat. Now I stick the knife the other direction and come straight up through the rib cage. And that's how you get the one fillet off. And that is one of two different methods I've learned for cutting. The other method, which a lot of people seem to think is a little bit easier, is this line right here is actually the backbone of the fish. So you just kind of follow it up and then you make your incision right on that line. Once again, helps to have a sharp knife. And you can kind of see the backbone there. What I noticed is I came mainly to this side of the backbone, so the easiest way is to start that way. And you just kind of bend the knife outwards and go right along the bones. And this side is a little bit skinnier than the other side, so this method usually works a little bit better on this side. Once again, you just go right down the bone when you're pushing down on it and cut it back here on the outside. And come in here. That portion of it. And there's half of that. We'll just do the same thing. Make a downward angle on the other side. And just bend the knife down along the bones. come up here and cut the rib cage. And you've got your flounder fillet.
Woohoo!
Only other thing left to do is skin it.
No, that's pretty easy on this fish.
Yes, much easier on a small fish. Take the exact same knife. Just slowly get it started. Flip the meat up out of the way and then just pull on the skin as you move the blade back and forth. And there you go.
The end. That was good.
Another lovely fish.